I'll spare you the history behind the consistent atrociousness that has come to define video games based on movies. E.T. almost killed gaming altogether in 1982, they're still pretty crappy in 2012, blah blah blah. In other news, the sky is blue, grass is green, Kate Upton is the next step in human evolution. These are scientific facts proven by light, chlorophyll, and swimwear with a keen understanding of the magic of basic physics. Of course, there have been some exceptional movie games, none more so than the Nintendo 64 classic, GoldenEye. And that's why this game was so notable in 2004. 7 years post GoldenEye, a game with 007 in the title was still being compared to that classic, so Electronic Arts went with a bold move. Changed the perspective, changed the gameplay, changed the narrative. Not every Bond game has to be GoldenEye. Everything or Nothing finally figured that out. Everything or Nothing is not a first-person shooter. Rather than try to improve on a formula its series basically created on consoles, this one tries something different. Specifically, the camera pulls out, which is surprising because I didn't think Bond ever did that. So Everything or Nothing is essentially a third-person action game, and it packs in as many different gameplay styles as it can. There are driving sequences, intense action scenes, and at its core, a primitive take on the cover-and-shoot gameplay that would come to define the industry in just a few years' time. So there's a lot to like about Everything or Nothing, but through a modern lens, it's impossible to ignore just how primitive its cover-and-shoot mechanics are. This same style of gameplay has come a long way since 2004, so this does feel a little clunky in comparison. Bond can only shoot by targeting, for example. There's no free aim, which can target your patience at times. But thankfully, the game does a lot of cool stuff to make its shortcomings a little more bearable. Climbing down walls is awesome, especially while simultaneously shooting enemies, and the game packs in a ton of cool gadgets and vehicles to diversify the otherwise repetitive, somewhat stealth-infused gameplay. For years, the expectations for Bond games were, fittingly, Everything or Nothing. Fans expected the greatness of GoldenEye. Anything less might as well have been nothing. Yet for that reason alone, it was nice to see EA experiment with the franchise in this one. It might not be the classic GoldenEye was, but Everything or Nothing is an outstanding PS2 action game nonetheless. And really, that's all it ever had to be.
No! Sorry, gentlemen, but I have a train to catch.